we had a flight scheduled to leave from LaGuardia on August 3rd. We were on our way there. Just about at the airport, we got the first text saying that the flight had been delayed to like 9:20, I believe, which wasn't bad. We proceeded to the airport, checked our bags, and then went through TSA. And we just got some food, ate, and then we went and sat at the terminal. And then it got delayed 2 more times. I think the next one was like we would be taking off at 11 and landing around 1. And then the next one was taking off at midnight and not getting there until about 3. And then they canceled it. There was a little bit of a like weather. There was a storm. There's a little bit of a storm on our way there, but it passed. So I assumed, okay, flights are going to take off. Like 6 other flights took off before we actually talked to somebody to get our flight rescheduled. After they canceled it, I went to go get in line behind a bunch of other people to talk to somebody about getting it rescheduled. The lady that was there was just kind of like, okay, well, my shift is over, so I'm going to go. And we all just kind of looked at her like, okay, are you going to get somebody else to come over here then? Because there's at least 20 people in line whose flight just got canceled and they want to rebook it. And there was probably, I think, only 2 other desks open at that point, and they both had lines at them. So we were just like, okay, can you at least go get somebody else? She said she would, left, didn't go get anybody. So we were standing there for about 20 minutes waiting for somebody before somebody finally came over and was just like, hey, if you guys want to come over here and then you guys want to go over there, we can get this all situated. When I finally did talk to somebody, we asked them about comping us a hotel room because it was now midnight and my 7-year-old was sleeping on the floor. And they said, oh, we can't comp you a hotel room because it has to do with the weather and that's not our fault, I believe is what they said. And we were just kind of like, okay, well, I mean, it's not our fault either. Why should we have to pay out of pocket? So we just kind of stayed. We finally talked to somebody about getting the flight rescheduled, and he was only able to get me, my boyfriend, and my son on one flight, and there was 4 of us originally. So his friend had to go on a separate flight out of JFK, and me, my boyfriend, and my son went on a flight out of Newark. And our flight had a layover, so we didn't end up landing in Florida the next day until about 6:30ish. We should have been in Florida around 11:30 on the 3rd. We didn't end up getting to our hotel until about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night on the 4th. Because our flights got so delayed, the car rental company that we had booked through canceled our booking. So we had to find another car rental company, that part was fine, but we had to pay more. That was the problem, is we were originally only supposed to pay about $600 for the car rental because we booked so far in advance. And now because we're booking day of, they charged us, I want to say, almost $800 for it. So it's a pretty big gap of what we had to cover because our flights were delayed. And then when we finally got to the hotel, I don't remember if there was like a late check-in fee or not, but I think they were the only ones that actually didn't give us an issue about being late. I'm pretty sure they didn't. And then when we get to Orlando Airport in Florida, we were told when we got our flights to head to Newark that our checked bags, because I had a checked suitcase for me and my boyfriend, and then my son had a booster seat. We were told that those 2 checked bags were going to get put on the next flight down to Florida the next day. So they should have been there before we even got there. We get there, we go to baggage, we're looking for our bags, it's not there, so we go to the office and check, and they never even put it on the plane. It never got put on the plane that day. So we had to go an extra 2 days without our suitcase. We had to go buy clothes those 2 days so that we could at least go back to the hotel and shower and change. We'd been in an airport for the last 24 hours. And then did give us a packet for us to submit a claim for the baggage and everything else. I submitted a claim for the receipts for the clothes that we had to buy. Haven't heard anything about that. But then when we finally got our suitcase, one of the wheels is missing off the bottom. So now it's all crooked and lopsided, and you can't roll it straight. It was a brand new suitcase. I just got it. So I was a little upset about that. And they lost my son's booster seat. So I don't know if it was just at the airport or if somebody grabbed it and brought it back and realized it wasn't theirs. They did end up delivering that to the hotel, but it was the day we were leaving. So we were using a booster seat that Delta gave us as a loaner because they didn't put ours on the flight. So we did end up getting his booster seat back, but they lost that. Yeah, it was kind of a shit show. I'd probably rate it maybe a 2 out of 10. It really wasn't that great. The biggest thing to me was that one of the employees just walked away. I get it. You're hourly. You want to go home, and it's your time to go. I get that. But I'm also hourly. And if I need to stay longer, I stay longer. If I can't stay longer, I go find somebody to help the customer that's standing in front of me, especially if there's 20 pissed off customers in front of you. You don't just walk away and not find anybody. Like that was the worst part about it. And I don't know, I guess they lacked empathy because none of the employees that we talked to that night, and not just me, but like all of the other customers whose flight got canceled, they didn't seem empathetic about the situation. They didn't, and I'm not saying they have to go above and beyond, but they just didn't even seem like they wanted to fix the problem to begin with. All we're asking is to get us on a new flight so we can go to the location that we're trying to get to. I was trying to go on vacation. And they're like, oh, well, the next flight doesn't leave until Monday. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm supposed to be there now. And you're telling me that you want me to wait until Monday to go on? No. And they kept pushing for Monday. Then when I told them, okay, look at a different airport then. I'm going on vacation. You need to get us there now. They looked at Newark and they got us one for the next day. A little bit more empathy and more human. I don't know. They didn't seem very eager. I don't know. No, I get it. Nobody really wants to work these days. I don't either. Okay. But again, you have customers in front of you who are trying to go someplace. You're telling them they can't, and then you're getting upset at them when they're upset about the answer that you're giving them. It doesn't seem fair. Honestly, all I'm looking for is the money back for the clothes that we had to spend because we wouldn't have had to go out and buy those things if we had our suitcase. I would like the money back for the suitcase that they damaged because, like I said, it was a brand new suitcase. It was our first time using it. We got it for a vacation. We can't even use it now. And it wasn't expensive. It was like $170, I think it was. I have the screenshot on my phone because I ordered it online. And then I know it's a reach, but possibly if they could compensate us a little bit for the extra money that we had to spend on the rental car because we were delayed so much. And again, not the whole amount, but like I said, there was a little bit of a gap there between what we were supposed to pay and what we had to pay because we got there late. So I would like to see at least a refund for the clothes and the suitcase, if not as well for a portion of the car payment.